This year's USABC delegation is comprised of senior executives from about 50 leading US companies, marking the largest US delegation to come to Vietnam since the historic elevation of Vietnam-US relations to a comprehensive strategic partnership. I would just note we're also going to be organizing a health and life science mission here in just a few weeks with an additional group of companies, bringing the total to about 60 companies that we're bringing in a very short period of time to Vietnam. And I think this shows how much enthusiasm there is in the US private sector for what's happening in Vietnam. It's an attractive investment destination and an important emerging market for the United States. Over the last couple of days and for the next couple of days, we're going to be meeting with government officials, key stakeholders across multiple ministries to reaffirm the commitment of US companies to support Vietnam's efforts and to propose further cooperation in a variety of sectors. We're trying to support some of the strategic initiatives that are underway in Vietnam, including a transition to a green economy, a digital transformation program, and enhancing Vietnam's position in the global supply chain by strengthening infrastructure and manufacturing capacity. Now, it's of note that this year there's really a remarkable alignment between our company's priorities and those of the US government. The ambassador and his team are working hard to implement action items emerging from the Comprehensive Strategic Partnership. And when the ambassador described his goals and our company's goals, they're virtually the same. I have not seen this in other markets, and we are also extremely lucky that we were able to lure Chairwoman Rita Jo Lewis to join us, and Special Envoy Sarah Morgenthau to join us as well. And of course, this is the 40th anniversary of the US-ASEAN Business Council, and we are, I need to note for the record, we are the only US-based organization formally enshrined in the ASEAN Charter. Now, you've seen in the past decade an extraordinary burst in the relationship between the United States and Vietnam, leading up to the establishment of the Comprehensive Strategic Partnership. The relationship began building trust based on addressing legacy of war issues, but it's long ago moved to broader areas of cooperation: politics, security, people-to-people ties, science and technology, healthcare, climate, energy, education, and beyond. On the economic front, which is of great interest to our visiting companies, the US is now Vietnam's largest export, while Vietnam ranks as America's 7th largest trading partner. In the security realm, the strategic interests of both countries are increasingly aligned, with Washington's free and open Indo-Pacific strategy closely lining up with Vietnam's interests. And then when it comes to people, and we are evidence of this, it's really extraordinary. Tens of thousands of Vietnamese students study in the United States, contributing $1 billion to our economy. Health cooperation remains a really vital area of collaboration, and it only grew during the COVID pandemic when the US Embassy, the US government provided 40 million doses of COVID vaccines to people in Vietnam. And I mentioned legacies of war. Just a couple of days ago, the Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense went to Bien Hoa to witness the progress that's being made in addressing the last, toughest of the legacies of war. And we see a tremendously strong trend when it comes to expanding the global manufacturing hub in Vietnam, and its growing importance as a critical link in the global supply chain for semiconductors and many, many other products. So as you can see, we've come a long way over the past 3 decades. I remain excited and optimistic. I like to think, comme dit la comté, there's nothing that is impossible in this relationship. So I urge that everyone in this room commit to seizing the opportunity to build long-standing friendships based on trust and respect so that we can turn our business ideas into mutually beneficial economic realities in the future. Thank you so much. Really grateful to all of you for being here, showing your support, and thank you to leaders on both sides who've done so much to bring our two countries together. Thank you. I think you're up.
Thank you, Ambassador Ted Osers. And as he mentioned, you know, our event today, we start for the year to celebrate our 40th anniversary. And if you see that we have a photo booth with some photo collection to say the journey of 40 years and beyond, that is remarkable, that we overcome a lot of barriers and now we are here now. And to make this event possible, we have to we want to express our sincere thanks to our very generous sponsor today, like Vietjet, VinFast, Suntory PepsiCo, Diageo, Meta, Sharpline Insurance, and ECV, Amazon, and among a lot of others that we can not say thank you enough. And later on, we have a special session to express our gratitude. But before we go with the next item, I would like to invite all of you to see a video clips, very short clip, to summarize USABC remarkable journey of 40 years, and a lot of things awaiting, our future still await. Please. Thank you. Now I would like to invite Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Hùng, Vice Chairman of Vietjet, to come to the stage, and Mr. Hùng will introduce our guest speaker.
His Excellency, our Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Đỗ Hùng Viết, Vice Minister Investment, Thích Trung, our Secretary Party Đồng Nai, Tờ Lĩnh, Ambassador Ted Osers, Ambassador Napper, Chairwoman U.S. Exim, Excellency, distinguished guests. It's our great honor to be here for congratulations to the U.S. ASEAN Business Council on this new important and promoting milestone. I believe that the U.S. ASEAN Business Council will continue to grow, contributing to the properties of the business community in Vietnam and ASEAN countries, and strengthening cooperation between America businesses, ASEAN and Vietnam. Dear distinguished guests, it's wonderful to witness the important progress in the positive partnership between Vietnam and the U.S. in 2023. The visit of President Joe Biden on the 10th and 11th September 2023 at the invitation of our General Secretary of the Communist Party Vietnam, Nguyễn Phú Trọng, opened a new chapter in the relationship between the two countries. The leaders of both nations declared the establishment of a comprehensive strategic partnership for the peace, cooperation, and sustainable development, and have made a remarkable step forward. Many important cooperation agreements have been announced, enhancing the relationship. Vietjet and strategic partners contributed actively in these efforts and achieved milestones as follows. First, purchase agreement for aircraft with Boeing. Vietjet signed contracts to buy 200 Boeing 737 MAX aircraft with a total value of $25 billion. This can be one of the largest commercial contracts and make Vietjet one of the Boeing's leading strategic partner in Asia. Therefore, not only delivering aircraft, Boeing plans to partner with Vietjet in investing, setting up technical service centers, maintenance, and training high quality of aviation personnel in Vietnam, especially in promoting the aircraft component supply chain. This is very important in developing the aviation support industry in Vietnam, which is only found in developed countries. The agreement between Vietjet and Boeing is one of the largest commercial contracts, this time contributing importantly to the trade balance between Vietnam and the US, creating over 130,000 American jobs. Moreover, during the visit of President Biden in Vietnam, Boeing also agreed to deliver consulting, training, maintenance, R&D service for the aviation industry, bringing technology advancement for sustainable development and protection of the environment. Number two, agreement of CFM International GE Aviation. CFM International is a joint venture between two leading companies from the US and France, GE in US and Safran France. Under this agreement, CFM and GE will deliver the Vietjet with engine, with technical and maintenance service for the aircraft Boeing 737 MAX. The contract had total value $10.8 billion and will be done over 12 years from the date of delivery of the aircraft. Number three, agreement with Pratt Whitney Engine and the Raytheon Group. Vietjet signed a contract to supply engine and provide repair and maintenance service for the latest generation Pratt Whitney engine for 93 aircraft with the value of $4 billion US. This contract will be done over 12 years from the date of the delivery of the aircraft also. Number four, IPO supply agreement with Honeywell, Collins Aerospace, financial agreement with Carlyle Group. Vietjet signed a contract with Honeywell Aviation Group to supply and maintain IPU for 98 aircraft with a value couple $100 million. And Vietjet and Collins Aerospace signed the agreement for selecting spare parts for the 92 Boeing 737 MAX aircraft. Vietjet and Carlyle Group signed a sponsor agreement for aircraft with value of $550 million during the visit of President Joe Biden in Vietnam. Carlyle Aviation Partners, a member of Carlyle Group, will deliver financing for Vietjet to buy 277 MAX Boeing. This is important aircraft order and one of the largest commercial contracts contributing significant to the trade balance between Vietnam and the US. Number fifth, agreement with Fulbright University, Vietnam, to build Fulbright University in Vietnam in the high-tech Park, Ho Chi Minh City. We have signed the contract with Fulbright Uni Vietnam for matching funds with the total value $20 million to build and improve education infrastructure, enhancing the quality of teaching and research in the Vietnam. And the end of last year, the funded already received by Fulbright. Dear distinguished guests, for the 12 years in the business, Vietjet have carried more than 190 million passengers with 500 flights per day to 160 domestic and international destinations. Vietjet has ordered total 406 modern aircraft, on-way exploring and connecting Vietnam to many cities. So next, I would like to invite Ambassador US in Vietnam, Ambassador Napa, please. Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks, Dr. Hung, for warming up the crowd. And thank you, Ambassador Osius. It's always a peril to have to follow Ted Osius because I think he took all my talking points. But I'll do my best to ad-lib a little bit, but also just really, I mean, my goal here is to, first of all, say thank you to all of you, both Vietnamese, American, international friends, for coming out tonight on this very special occasion, celebrating the visit, this very important visit by the U.S. ABC business delegation here to Vietnam. As we heard, the largest ever, which is pretty remarkable. Largest ever, which I think speaks volumes about the commitment of U.S. business, of the U.S. government, of U.S. industry to this relationship and to really the future prosperity of the United States and Vietnam. We're very pleased, as we heard, to also welcome here on this trip two very distinguished senior members of the U.S. government. We have Madam Chair Rita Jo Lewis from the U.S. Export-Import Bank, as well as from the State Department, our Special Representative for Business and Commercial Affairs, Sarah Morgenthau. Thank you both so much for joining us on this important trip. I would also like to acknowledge we have so many members of the U.S. Embassy economic, trade, and commercial community. I can't cite all of them, but I see all over, everywhere around these tables, many members of our great embassy community who are here every day, working hard every day, supporting this relationship, supporting U.S.-Vietnam ties. So I hope if one of them is at your table, please take the time to talk with them, thank them, because what they do is just so important for everything we do on behalf of this relationship. This U.S. ABC is celebrating its 40th anniversary, so happy birthday, U.S. ABC. You're 40 years young. We look forward to 40 more years of great work on behalf of not just the United States relationship with ASEAN, but in particular, the U.S. relationship with Vietnam. And I mean, anniversaries are important, right? Anniversaries help us to think about where we've been, how far we've come, and where we want to go. Just the other day, we commemorated the 30th anniversary of the lifting of the embargo the United States imposed on Vietnam after the war. And of course, in 1994, once we lifted that embargo, the sky was the limit, it turned out, in terms of the U.S. economic relationship with Vietnam. And so next year, in 2025, we're going to commemorate the 30th anniversary of normalization, the 30th anniversary of when the United States opened an embassy for the very first time in Hanoi, the 30th anniversary of this great relationship that we now enjoy today. So next year is a pretty big year for us. We've got the 30th anniversary of normalization. We also have the 50th anniversary of the end of the war, but we also have an anniversary that's less well known to people, and that's the 80th anniversary, so count backwards, 1945, when U.S. forces, together with Ho Chi Minh and the Viet Minh, were together in northern Vietnam, fighting together as allies, as friends, against Imperial Japan. And this is a friendship, this is an alliance that's not well known. So hopefully, maybe when you're done tonight, you'll go home and Wikipedia it or something to learn more. But the United States and Vietnam, we were friends, we were allies 80 years ago. And as sometimes happens between friends, we lost our way. And it took us 50 years to find each other again in 1995 when we normalized. And it took a lot of work on the part of a lot of people, both in Vietnam and the United States, to make that happen. Courageous politicians, courageous citizens, individuals well known in the United States, like John Kerry, John McCain, Patrick Leahy, individuals who staked their political careers, their reputations on a very important goal of building a friendship, building a relationship between the United States and Vietnam. So, where are we today? Almost 30 years after this courageous decision to normalize relations, almost 80 years after the United States and Vietnam were together in northern Vietnam, fighting together, we now have a relationship in which the United States is Vietnam's #1 export market. We now have a relationship in which Vietnam is the United States' 8th largest trading partner. We have a relationship in which, during COVID, the United States supplied 44 million doses of vaccine to Vietnam. We have a relationship in which Vietnam supplied the United States with masks and gowns and personal protective equipment. You know, in the great time of need the U.S. had back in the spring of 2020, some of you might remember, we needed help and Vietnam helped us. I mean, this is the kind of relationship that we now have. This is the kind of friendship that we now have. And this is the kind of relationship in which great representatives of Vietnamese companies, American companies, are now working together to promote prosperity, to promote investment, to promote trade, and ultimately to promote peace and stability in this part of the world between our two countries, to ensure that as comprehensive strategic partners, as President Biden and General Secretary Nguyen Phu Trong announced last September, a relationship in which now the sky is truly the limit, a relationship in which our two futures are inextricably linked, whether it's economic prosperity, whether it's security, whether it's stability, whether it's friendship, and the bridges that we're building every day, that you're building every day, together, whether it's American business people, Vietnamese business people, you're setting the foundation for prosperity between our two countries for years and decades to come. And so when we celebrate the 50th or the 60th or the 80th anniversary of the U.S.-ASEAN Business Council, when we celebrate the 50th anniversary of U.S.-Vietnam normalization, we can look back on the efforts all of us, all of you, are making right here, right now, to strengthen this relationship. So I say thank you. Thank you for everything you do. We stand on your shoulders. We stand on the foundations you build to make this relationship as strong as it is, as vital as it is, and dynamic as it is. So I say thank you, and I guess enjoy the evening. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Ambassador Napa, for very inspirational remarks. And now I would like to invite Mr. Jahanes Khan, CEO and General Director of Suntory PepsiCo Vietnam Beverage, to come to the stage.
Mr. Do Than Chung, Vice Minister of Planning and Investment, the Honorable Mark Napa, Ambassador of the United States to Vietnam, Ambassador Ted Osius, President and CEO of US-ASEAN Business Council, colleagues and friends from the government of Vietnam, the USABC, and the business community, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to be here today as we celebrate the 40th anniversary of the US-ASEAN Business Council. On behalf of Suntory PepsiCo Vietnam Beverage, I would like to send my warmest congratulations to Ambassador Ted Osius and his Vietnam team for making this business mission, which provides genuine opportunities for dialogue and partnership between Vietnam's government and the business community. Throughout its history, the pivotal role that the Council has played has been proven essential to enhancing economic, trade, and investment links between the United States and ASEAN countries and in particular, Vietnam. I am even more delighted to share that this year also marks the 30th anniversary that the first Pepsi product entered Vietnam's market. We first began with beverages in 1994 and expanded to foods business with PepsiCo Foods in 2005. Since our early days, in the first Pepsi factory in Hoc Mon, Ho Chi Minh City, Suntory PepsiCo has consistently demonstrated and delivered our commitment of investing and doing business in Vietnam. We will continue investing over $300 million to build the 6th Suntory PepsiCo plant in Long An province, which will be the largest and most advanced factory of both Suntory and PepsiCo in Asia Pacific. Such an investment in Long An will make our total investment in Vietnam in the last 5 years to be $600 million. It is a testament to our firm belief in the growth and the potential of this country of Vietnam. Additionally, PepsiCo Foods will also build a new factory in Hanam province worth $88 million as well. With this double upgrade to a comprehensive strategic partnership between the United States and Vietnam, the business community are presented with more opportunities when the two governments work closely together. Our position and prowess have been increasing, but so have our challenges. Now is also the time when constructive dialogue and efficient partnerships must be the main themes so they can drive bilateral relationship further forward. As the leading beverage company in Vietnam, Suntory PepsiCo is proud to work with the Council to promote dialogue and partnership that benefiting not only the food and beverage sector, but also the business community in Vietnam. Thank you, USABC, again for your great work and our effective collaboration. I wish you all success and a wonderful evening. And now, without further ado, I would like to introduce Mr. Do Than Chung, Vice Minister, Planning and Investment, to come on stage and share his thoughts. Thank you very much.
Thưa ông Tes Osius, Chủ tịch kiêm Tổng giám đốc của Hội đồng Kinh doanh Hoa Kỳ ASEAN, nguyên đại sứ Việt Nam tại Hoa Kỳ, kính thưa tất cả quý vị đại biểu. Hôm nay là cái buổi kỷ niệm 40 năm ngày thành lập USABC. Các đồng nghiệp của tôi thì đã phát biểu rất là nhiều ý nghĩa và dùng những lời chúc tốt đẹp nhất để chúc cho cái kỷ niệm và cho tương lai của Hội đồng Kinh doanh Việt Nam Hoa Kỳ USABC. Và vì nó là buổi lễ tổ chức sinh nhật, tôi sẽ không lấy nhiều thời gian của quý vị. Hôm nay thì cho tôi được bày tỏ niềm vinh dự thay mặt cho Bộ Đầu tư được đến đây để cùng chung vui cùng quý vị và tham quan cái không gian trưng bày về công tác trách nhiệm xã hội của doanh nghiệp trong chuỗi các sự kiện hoạt động của đoàn doanh nghiệp USABC. Đây là sự kiện ý nghĩa quan trọng trong bối cảnh Việt Nam Hoa Kỳ vừa nâng cấp quan hệ đối tác chiến lược toàn diện năm 2023. Và nhân dịp kỷ niệm 40 năm ngày thành lập USABC, thay mặt Bộ Đầu tư, cho tôi được gửi lời đánh giá rất cao và cảm ơn các bạn về những đóng góp thiết thực của mình, của các doanh nghiệp, thành viên vào quá trình phát triển kinh tế xã hội của Việt Nam, thúc đẩy quan hệ kinh tế đầu tư giữa hai nước, kết nối doanh nghiệp hai bên, kết nối người dân và đóng vai trò là thành viên tích cực trong các kênh đối thoại giữa chính phủ Việt Nam với doanh nghiệp Hoa Kỳ cũng như các đối tác khác. thông qua rất nhiều khuyến nghị để từ đó hoàn thiện thể chế, chính sách, cải thiện môi trường đầu tư kinh doanh của Việt Nam. Thưa quý vị, quan hệ Việt Nam-Hoa Kỳ đã và đang phát triển ngày càng tích cực vững chắc trên tất cả các lĩnh vực kinh tế, thương mại và đầu tư như ngài đại sứ Napper đã nói, và rõ ràng tương lai thuộc về chúng ta. Ở Việt Nam thì trách nhiệm xã hội của doanh nghiệp đang trở thành vấn đề được quan tâm và đem lại cho doanh nghiệp và xã hội nhiều lợi ích và cơ hội. Trách nhiệm xã hội chính là cam kết của doanh nghiệp đóng góp cho sự phát triển kinh tế bền vững thông qua việc nâng cao đời sống chất lượng của người lao động cũng như cộng đồng xã hội xung quanh. Trong bối cảnh đầu tư Hoa Kỳ tiếp tục phát triển cả về quy mô, lĩnh vực, Việt Nam đánh giá cao và trân trọng nhận thức và các hoạt động trách nhiệm xã hội của các doanh nghiệp Hoa Kỳ, của từng cán bộ trong từng doanh nghiệp, cũng như của các bạn. Đây là đóng góp trực tiếp đến sự phát triển kinh tế, ổn định xã hội của Việt Nam. Các bạn là những nhà đầu tư nghiêm túc, nhạy bén trong kinh doanh, nhưng cũng là những người có trách nhiệm trong chú trọng bảo vệ môi trường, chăm lo đời sống người lao động và là hình mẫu trong triển khai hoạt động của trách nhiệm xã hội của doanh nghiệp. Chúng tôi hy vọng thông qua sự kiện này, doanh nghiệp Hoa Kỳ có thể chia sẻ thêm kinh nghiệm về cách tổ chức hoạt động trách nhiệm xã hội đó đối với cả doanh nghiệp của Việt Nam và đối với cả chúng tôi, những người xây dựng hoạch định chính sách. Qua đó cũng là truyền cảm hứng như thúc đẩy mạnh mẽ hơn nữa các hoạt động xã hội tại cộng đồng của doanh nghiệp Việt Nam nói chung và tại Việt Nam, doanh nghiệp Việt Nam nói riêng và tại Việt Nam nói chung. Đồng thời, ở đây một lần nữa, thay mặt Bộ Đầu tư cho chúng tôi khẳng định một việc, Bộ Đầu tư sẽ luôn luôn cùng đồng hành với doanh nghiệp Hoa Kỳ trong cả quá trình đầu tư kinh doanh ở Việt Nam. Nhân dịp kỷ niệm 40 năm sinh nhật của USABC và của các doanh nghiệp kinh doanh có mặt ngày hôm nay, thì thay mặt Bộ Đầu tư xin được gửi lời chúc tốt đẹp nhất đến ngài đại sứ Napper, ngài đại sứ Ted Osius, các đồng nghiệp của tôi ở Việt Nam và tất cả các doanh nghiệp Việt Nam, Hoa Kỳ. Chúc chúng ta có một buổi tối hạnh phúc và thành công. Xin cảm ơn.
I wanted to raise a glass, not only to 40 years of the U.S.-ASEAN Business Council, but to 80 years, the 80 years that Ambassador Napper mentioned. If you go back to the friendship that we had before, and then we lost our way, 30 years of building a new friendship between the United States and Vietnam. I think it really shows the fact that enemies came together, became friends, built a partnership. People like Pham Quang Vinh were heroes in this process, built a partnership, and now are strategic, comprehensive strategic partners. I think it tells you that nothing is impossible. Thank you, Mr. Vice Minister.
Các quý vị cùng nâng ly ạ.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Xin mời khách sạn là bắt đầu phục vụ đồ ăn cho các quan khách của chúng tôi ạ. And now I would like to invite Madame Lê Thu Thủy, Chairwoman of VinFast Manufacturing US, to come to the stage to introduce our speaker.
I was told to be short. So, His Excellency, President and CEO of US ASEAN Business Council, Ambassador Tess Oses, ladies and gentlemen. So tonight, as we gather here to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the US ASEAN Business Council, it fills me with immense pride to stand before you as the chairwoman of VinFast. This marks the beginning of the second year of VinFast as the Chairman Council's members of US ABC, and what a journey it has been. So as I was coming here, I had some personal reflection on the last 1 year, right? I made like probably 4 or 5 trips to the US. It's a lot of reflection, but I remember on one of the plane back from the US, I was reading Ambassador Tess Oses' book, Nothing is Impossible. I learned a lot about the event and the people that work relentlessly to try to mend the relationship between the two countries. A lot of the events that I wasn't aware of. I remember meeting a lot of leaders of the businesses, of the government in the US, and especially the meeting with President Joe Biden here in Vietnam. That was very special. In this short 1 year, I also remember we witnessed a lot of activities aimed at strengthening the tie between VinFast, US ASEAN Business Council, and the broader US business community. From our pivotal support of the ASEAN Ambassador Tour in the US 2023, and the positive reception of the book ASEAN Matters for America and America Matters for ASEAN, to our proactive involvement in crucial business and policy discussions of the US ABC during interaction with the government of the United States and ASEAN countries. We have committed to enhancing VinFast's growth trajectory and bolstering the trade relations between the US and ASEAN. So this is all in pursuit of our greener and better life for all. Last year, we also took significant strides by establishing our second manufacturing facility in the US, in North Carolina. We listed VinFast on the US Stock Exchange. Our products and services were present in the US and started going to ASEAN countries. This is a testament to our commitment to the US and ASEAN markets. This strategic move also positioned us to deepen the ties between ASEAN and US business community. And this week, it was my distinct honor to meet with President and Chair of the Board of Directors of Export and Import Bank of the United States, Chair Rita Lewis. And we managed to share with her a lot of updates about our global expansion plan and the progress of our manufacturing facility in the US. I did my study about Chair Lewis, so I want to share a little bit with you. So first of all, Chair Lewis is a trailblazing leader who served as a senior fellow and director of congressional affairs at the German Marshall Fund of the United States, fostering diplomacy between the US and European lawmakers. Previously, she made history as the first special representative for global intergovernmental affairs at the US Department of State, earning the Secretary's Distinguished Service Award. And as the first African-American woman Vice President and Counselor of the President at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, she advocated for small businesses especially those owned by women and minority people. She is esteemed in organizations such as the Council of Foreign Relations and the Leadership Council for Women in National Security. But above all, I thoroughly enjoy all the conversation with her about all the countries and all the places that we have been to. We even talked earlier about like going to Saudi Arabia and how it's like to be there as a woman. So really enjoyed it. And I look forward to soon welcoming Chair Lewis and all of you here to our new VinFast manufacturing facility in North Carolina. So with that said, I'm very thrilled to introduce Chair Rita Lewis and eagerly await her insight and thought as we continue on this journey of growth and partnership of US ABC. Chair Lewis.
Thank you, Madam Tui. Thank you for that very kind introduction. Xin chào, everyone. I am so thrilled to be here in Hanoi as part of the U.S. delegation and to have the opportunity to celebrate with Ambassador Osius the 40 years of U.S. ASEAN Business Council. None of this would be really possible for all of us without being here with our U.S. Ambassador Napper and his team. And so DCM Bishop, and to the economic and the political team here tonight, we say thank you for welcoming all of us. Vice Minister, we have had such a great visit here in Vietnam. It has been filled with meetings of government leaders, but more importantly, with the members from the private sector right here in Vietnam, as well as members from the United States. One of the things that we wanted to show here today is that our presence, we are eager at Exim Bank as America's only independent federal agency about supporting U.S. jobs through facilitating exports. We are eager and ready to build upon our strong work to help advance our shared economic and global energy transition goals with Vietnam. You've already heard that President Biden and General Secretary had a great visit here earlier last year. And so we do recognize at USXM that the economic trade and investment cooperation between our two countries under the CSP, the Comprehensive Strategy Partnership, carries great weight. So my team and I have enjoyed a successful trip in Hanoi and had the chance to meet with so many leaders to discuss XM's financing tools and identify collaborative opportunities that supports U.S. companies exporting to Vietnam. To do this, as I said, we could not do this without working closely with our commercial service in Hanoi and our economic section at the U.S. Embassy. We also rely on partners like the U.S. ASEAN Business Council, which plays such a key role in connecting the private sector with export opportunities in the region. I must say, Ambassador, when I saw that film, I saw so many of our friends that we have worked with over the years to know and to keep this relationship strong. Earlier this morning, we also signed a memorandum of understanding with the Vietnam Development Bank. We hope that the work that we will be able to do hand in hand with leaders here to be able to identify real opportunities to advance our shared economic goals and priorities. So as you can see, we are excited to see what opportunities may result from this new partnership that can help advance the economies of both of our nations, especially in areas like renewable energy, batteries, energy storage, and other high-value products, including semiconductors and consumer electronics. XM remains deeply committed to forging strong commercial and economic ties to support American exporters looking to do business here in Vietnam. So as we look to the future, we are eager to continue playing our role in advancing the U.S.-Vietnam commercial and economic relationship and to let you know that we remain committed to doing all we can to support American exporters and their customers here in Vietnam. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chair Louis. So now I would like to invite Ms. Huỳnh Thị Thanh Trúc, Corporate Relations Director of Diageo Vietnam, to the stage to introduce our next speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Love. Kính thưa ông Đỗ Thành Trung là Thứ trưởng Bộ Kế hoạch và Đầu tư. Thank you, Mr. Ambassador, the U.S. Ted Osius, and U.S. Ambassador Mark E. Knapper. On behalf of Diageo Vietnam, it's my honor to be here today to celebrate with the U.S. ABC on the occasion of 40 years anniversary. So Diageo is the global leader in the spirit with over 200 brands and sell in nearly 118 countries. In Vietnam, we are well known with Johnny Walker brand, and we proudly serve you today our special spirit, Moglass and SR. We hope that pairing well with our food today, and I hope you all enjoy them and remember to drink responsibly, to be able to celebrating life every day and everywhere. And last but not least, it's my honor to introduce Ms. Sarah Morgenthau, a special representative for commercial business affairs, to come to the stage and share your thoughts. Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you, Ms. Chuk, for your very kind introduction. Thank you, Ambassador Osius, and all of the USABC corporate member sponsors who have made this gala possible. Thank you, Ambassador Knapper, and your truly top-notch and committed team for making all of this possible and for your tremendous support this week. Thank you to the many esteemed government officials that are here from Vietnam. We are grateful for your support and the productive meetings that we had today. It's an honor to be in Vietnam. As I've told many of you, this is my first trip to Southeast Asia. I feel very welcome here, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to celebrate the enduring partnership between our two nations and peoples, and to explore new opportunities for our shared growth. Earlier this month, before I left the United States for Southeast Asia, I joined a business roundtable discussion in Washington with Secretary of State Tony Blinken and over 90 CEOs from many of your companies, some of our largest, as well as some smaller, innovative, up-and-coming companies. Based on these discussions and ones that I have had in Singapore last week and the last couple of days in Vietnam, I can say with confidence to our Vietnamese public and private sector counterparts that our companies are keen to partner with you and provide world-class service to you and your nation. We are all celebrating the comprehensive strategic economic partnership and the double upgrade. And when you think of the comprehensive strategic partnership, what comes to mind? For me, I think of someone who cares about my needs and interests and not just their own. I think of a partner I can trust, who shows me respect, who treats me as an equal partner, and who brings as much to the table as I do. I think of a partner who will be there for me now and in the future, and I think of someone who helps me succeed. Now, please look around this room. I don't want to get in the middle of you and your meal, which I know is very delicious, and tell me what you see. I see a room full of U.S. businesses who are trustworthy, many who have been trusted partners in Vietnam for decades, and will be trusted partners for decades to come. And I see companies that are newer to Vietnam who are equally committed to the growth and success of your country. I see a room full of U.S. companies who care deeply about customer service and providing the best value possible. I see U.S. companies who offer lasting solutions to the needs of the Vietnamese people, be it infrastructure, transportation, energy, digital, technology, security, defense, consumer product, health, agriculture, supply chain, financial. I see U.S. investors who are committed to fostering the growth of this nation, and I see U.S. companies that build on the ground capacity that generates transferable skills and expertise, which in turn fosters global innovation and growth. In short, I see a room full of U.S. companies who are keen to support Vietnam's continued growth and prosperity. And I see in the U.S. ASEAN Business Council Ambassador Ted Osius and its leadership who are equally committed to the bilateral relationship, to our commercial relationship, and to achieving the vision of the comprehensive strategic partnership. Vietnam is our 9th largest trading partner and our largest trading partner in Southeast Asia, yet we see opportunity to expand trade significantly between our two nations as we facilitate the further opening of markets for each other's goods and services, as agreed in the joint leaders' statement issued when we announced our comprehensive strategic partnership. U.S. companies are currently invested in Vietnam across major sectors, and including clean energy, healthcare, banking, semiconductors, hospitality, to name just a few. The driving force behind our commercial diplomacy is creating mutually beneficial growth opportunities. To that end, we hold Vietnam will come to that in the U.S. to be your business partner of choice. Together, by furthering our collaboration, our economic partnerships, looking for win-win opportunities and generating new commercial ventures, we hope to create greater prosperity for both of our nations. I am confident that our two nations can serve as strategic economic partners of choice for decades to come, and I thank you for your time and for your hospitality.
Thank you, Special Representative Sarah Morgenthau. And now, I would like to invite Ambassador Ted Osius come to the stage to introduce our last speaker of tonight.
First, let me thank Sarah Morgenthau for what she just said. I see what she sees, which is companies that are willing to elevate the relationship, raise standards, contribute, not just take away, but contribute to the success of the relationship, to Vietnam's success. So I really appreciate what you said. Now, I'm very honored to introduce a friend of mine, a special speaker, one of the long-standing friends of the United States who has wholly supported the U.S. ASEAN Business Council since we established our office in Vietnam. In his capacities as Director of the People's Aid Coordinating Committee, Vice President, and now President of the Vietnam Union of Friendship, he has done extraordinary work to strengthen the people-to-people ties between our two countries, which has directly contributed to the deep trust that we've built and that we enjoy today. I had the privilege of working with him when I was U.S. Ambassador to Vietnam, and now I have the privilege of working with him again as President and CEO of USABC. And I want you to please join me in welcoming a great friend of this relationship, His Excellency Pham An Son, President of the Vietnam Union of Friendship. Thank you.
As my observation, the food is abundant, time is plenty. So what should we do to keep our guests until the end of the party? Make the speech as long as possible. And Ted Osier told me, instead of speaking in 7 minutes as prearranged, I should make it in 70 minutes. Okay, so please be patient to suffer. Okay. Kính thưa ông Nguyễn Hồng Lĩnh, Bí thư Tỉnh ủy Đồng Nai, Excellency Mr. Nguyễn Hồng Lĩnh, Secretary of Đồng Nai People's Party Committee, Excellency Ambassador Mark Nepper, Excellency Ambassador Ted Osius, Excellency Mr. Đỗ Hùng Việt, Mr. Đỗ Thanh Trung, Excellency Madam Sarah Morganhouse, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I am very honored to speak at this special event tonight, as we are celebrating and starting to carry out the newly upgraded relations between Vietnam and the US, and at the same time celebrating the 40th anniversary of US-ABC. On behalf of the Vietnam Union of Friendship Organizations, VUFO, I would like to extend my most sincere congratulations and best wishes to US-ABC and all of its leadership, members, partners, staffs, and friends. Ladies and gentlemen, at this outset, I can't help but recall the special bonds between our two countries. It did not start just 3 decades ago when we officially normalized our diplomatic relations, but much longer before that. Since the end of the World War II, the Vietnamese people joined the US and allies in anti-fascism movement. Later, just over a month since Vietnam declared its independence, President Ho Chi Minh established the Vietnam-US Society, the first ever bilateral friendship organization between Vietnamese and Nguyen people, one of our current 110 member organization of VUFO, which has been actively contributing to strengthen the relations between Vietnam and the US. No one can deny that people exchanges between our two countries serve as the driving force to bring our nations close together. The Vietnamese people will never forget the affection and valuable contribution of American friends who are veterans, donors, businesses, NGOs, including US-ABC and its members, to the reconciliation and healing the wounds of war, to the normalization and promotion of US-Vietnam relations, as well as to the support for Vietnam in its international integration and development. Ladies and gentlemen, even before the establishment of its Vietnam office in 2007, US-ABC has always been leading the efforts to promote Vietnam-US relations. Since early 1990s, the advocacy of US-ABC and its influential members played important parts to Vietnam achieve milestones in its opening and integration process, such as US embargo lifting and then diplomatic normalization in 1995, BTA in 2001, PNTR status in 2006, and WTO membership in 2007, and more recently, TPP and IPEP negotiations. US-ABC missions, with the participation of US top companies, have been opening new business opportunities as well as providing policy recommendations to Vietnam to improve the country's business and investment environment. Those are the landmarks along the great efforts across sectors, both in Vietnam and in the US, that laid a foundation for our country's comprehensive partnership in 2013, which was elevated to comprehensive strategic partnership for peace, cooperation, and sustainable development last September. During this journey, VUFO is proud of our humble contribution to these milestones and sustainable development of our country by working closely with friends and partners worldwide, such as individuals, congresses, think tanks, donors, businesses, NGOs, especially American ones. Over 100 American NGOs, currently 114, have worked with VUFO to support development projects worth around $100 million per year. Many American businesses, including US ABC members, some of them are here tonight, have cooperated with VUFO to implement many CSR initiatives. I would like to take this opportunity to express our sincere thanks to US ABC, its members, American NGOs, and friends for your great contribution to our relation and development. Ladies and gentlemen, Vietnam is sparing no efforts implementing the development goals, becoming a high middle income country with modern industry by 2030 and a high income developed country by 2045. As the focal point for Vietnam's people's diplomacy and the standing agency of Vietnam's Committee for Foreign NGOs Affairs, COMINGO, VUFO commits to cooperating, facilitating, partnering with, and serving international partners and NGOs operating in Vietnam, further improving our activities and services to provide better support to foreign NGOs, including American ones, and strengthen our future cooperation. On this special occasion, I am honored to announce that Vietnam Union of Friendship Organization decided to award USABC the Certificate of Merit for significant contribution to the promotion of cooperation and friendship between Vietnam and the United States of America. Congratulations, USABC. I wish USABC a strong development and abundant successes in the next 40 years, as Mark Knapper just mentioned earlier. Wish you all good health and happiness. I would like to invite Mr. Ambassador Ted Osius and Mr. Vũ Thu Thanh to come on the stage to receive the Certificate of Merit from VUFO. Good luck and congratulations once again.
I would like to invite all of our guest speakers to come to stage for the photo op. Ambassador Mark Knapper, His Excellency Mr. Đỗ Thành Trung, Vice Minister of Planning and Investment, Chair Louis, Miss Sarah Muganthou, Special Representative. Okay, so please come to the stage. And we would like to present you with flowers and to express our gratitude for very inspirational speeches today. Okay. Thank you. So could I ask our speaker to move ahead a bit and we invite our sponsors. Yeah, remain stage. And I would like to invite our sponsors who help us to make our event possible tonight. So please welcome Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Hùng, Vice Chairman of Vietjet. Mr. Jahanjeb Khan, CEO and General Director of Suntory PepsiCo Vietnam. Madam Lê Thu Thủy, Chairwoman of VinFast. Miss Huỳnh Thị Thanh Trúc, Diageo Việt Nam. And representatives from Chap Life, Chap Non-Life, please. Yeah. And Rafi, Dr. Rafi from Meta. Representatives from Amazon. David from ECV, Energy Capital Vietnam. 3M, Bauer Group Asia, Boeing, so Madam Erica Pearson from Boeing, yeah. For Viachis, GE Healthcare, Marriott, VMO, and Well Power Group. And could I invite our distinguished guest to Mr. Nguyễn Hồng Lĩnh, ông Nguyễn Hồng Lĩnh, Bí thư Tỉnh ủy Đồng Nai, và ông Đỗ Hùng Việt, Thứ trưởng Bộ Ngoại giao Việt Nam ạ. Cũng xin mời hai quý ông lên sân khấu để chụp ảnh cùng với lại các diễn giả và các nhà tài trợ của event hôm nay ạ. Thank you. Yeah. And I would like to, so our sponsor, please stay on the stage. So our organizing committee, Ambassador Ted Osos, we have a present for all of you. Yeah, so you present flowers to our sponsors. Yep. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sao bây giờ? Yeah. And now I would like to invite those who behind of everything today and our Vietnam Business Mission. And we want to say so thank you to them, our students, our volunteers, our interns who work hard so day and night. So ladies and gentlemen, please give our young interns with a clap, yeah, clap. So many ask us that how can you make so many things happen in a very short time? 21 meetings with top leaders and ministers of Vietnam and these events. And our office team in Hanoi, we just have 5 persons. But here are those, our team, who make everything happen. And we call it, it's the humans of USABC. Thank you so much. Okay, so now the ceremony's part ends, but celebrations still going on. And we got a lot of good foods and drinks, and we would like to I hope that our guests will enjoy our tonight event, and please stay, enjoy the food, enjoy the drink, and have a more conversation. Thank you so much, everyone. Anh Thành đâu rồi nhỉ? Chắc. Where Chuck?
Okay, we're not done.
So you see that we have a backdrop outside of our ballroom, and we also have some small photo session that if you can take the photos, and we give you the photos right in the event. So please enjoy everything.